California banning the sale of silver, banning the purchase of silver. I received a comment about this in my last video, and if it was one comment, I would ignore it. But there were a few people talking about this, so I dove into this. In this video, I'm going to break this down and show you what's going on with silver in California. California is known as the liberal Mecca, and along with that, the population of this liberal Mecca is very distrustful of the political elite, very distrustful of government regulation when it comes to local commerce. So I'm very interested in this. The first place I looked, of course, was the California government website, right? And I looked under the regulation section to see what regulations are coming out. And you could actually do this. You can actually see month by month which regulations are being presented to the government and which ones are going to go through. It's actually quite interesting because you literally see the response. It'll say like denied, like whatever regulation is being offered or presented, any idea that's being presented, they're meeting on it and they're deciding on it. So I looked through this, and there's plenty of ideas for regulation for fish and wildlife, regulation for environmental regulation, toxic substance control, of course, Department of Ed. There's many regulations that are being presented, and it's actually quite quick to sift through. So no, nothing about precious metals, nothing about small businesses and selling silver and selling gold. The next section I found was under, again, this is the California government website, and it says, do you need a California seller's permit, right, to sell certain things? So what would you need a permit for? What would be regulated that you're going to sell? And yes, if you make a certain amount of sales, you will need to register, right? So this is the same. This is not just California. I mean, any state will go through this. This says, when you sell or lease merchandise, vehicles, or other tangible personal property in California, even temporarily, you are generally required to register with the agency, the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, right? That's what it's called. Because then you're going to have to start paying sales tax on these items. When you register, you'll be given a seller's permit. It goes on to say that making sales of merchandise, goods, or other items in California without first getting a seller's permit violates the law and subjects you to fines and penalties. So this is the same. This could be any state in our union. There's nothing here about selling gold and selling silver, selling any precious metals, and anything coming down the pike. Like, you're not going to be able to sell these things. Now, what I did find, and this is interesting, this is specifically about gold. And this says, unlicensed gold buyers hurt California economy. Historically, high gold prices coupled with a general economic decline has recently exerted pressure to sell scrap gold and unused jewelry. We know that. And it says that people are selling gold kind of off the market. They're having gold parties, according to this article. They're having hotel events, which could actually be considered. I've been to hotel events. They're really any local coin show is typically held at a hotel. So I don't think that would fall under this, because those people are dealers that are selling gold. So many of them have their own brick and mortar shops. Now, this says that yes, the businesses of buying and selling gold requires a secondhand dealer's license pursuant to California business law, and then it lists all these, technical terms. The purpose for selling and regulating secondhand dealers is to curtail the dissemination of stolen property and to facilitate its recovery by means of a uniform statewide, state-administered program of regulation of persons whose principal business is the buying, selling, and trading and auctioning of these metals. Now, it's possible. I mean, if you were the people that were mentioning this in my last video in the comments, maybe you were thinking of gold and you were seeing something like this along the line saying that, yes, if you're going to sell gold, you need to have some kind of secondhand dealer's license. I'm just trying to figure out how you'd make that leap to go from requiring a license to saying that the entire state is banning a precious metal. Now, the other thing I found is that, and this is under, again, the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, and this is saying yes. Again, this is probably with any state. This states specifically for coins and bullion. It says sale of coins. The transfer of coins for use solely as a medium of exchange, as legal tender, is not subject to tax, actually, even though the transferee pays an amount exceeding the face amount, even though you're paying a premium. It says it's not subject to tax. For example, tax does not apply to a transaction whereby a coin changer returns only 95 cents on the dollar, but this isn't selling bullion. Here's the bullion part. It says sales of gold or silver bullion. Tax applies to sales of gold or silver bullion except as provided in any specific subdivision. It also says sales in bulk of monetized bullion. So monster box, bulk sales of silver bricks, right? Silver bars. It says a non-monetized gold or bullion and numismatic coins, sales in bulk of monetized bullion. It's going to be subject to sales tax. So this is just telling you, yes, if you're selling it, you're going to be taxed. Now, maybe these people who are talking about California banning an entire precious metal, the sale of silver, the purchasing of silver, maybe they found some information that is not here, but this is all available to the public. What I'm just stating in this video, this is all available to the public. This is all under the government website. Every state in this union has a government website that lets you look up the regulations. It's all public knowledge. There's no secret. There's no conspiracy. Nothing's being slipped by you without you knowing. So for those of us who are stacking silver and excited to continue stacking silver, you can rest at ease tonight knowing that if you are in the state of California, silver is still here for you and it's not going anywhere.